Hello friends and enemies, it's me Isabel here with my 10 last reads. So I talked about this in my last video where I gave like some comfort reads that I wanted in a channel update that I wanted to try this. So we're gonna see how it goes. This is actually slightly more than 10, but this will catch us up, so the next one will only be 10 books. This is 13 books, I think. We'll see if I counted right. I've got notes, I've got my water, we're ready to go. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Evelyn Hardcastle, as the narrator says, by Stuart Turton. I give this 2.5, 3 stars on Goodreads. So I got this from my library for Pancake Sex Book Club, linked up above if you want to check us out talking about it. Basically, we all were like really mixed on it. It has the foundation and the premise of like amazingness, and then it just itself. That's all I got for it. It was a trip. I kind of hated it and I kind of liked it. I kind of know who I could rec it to, but also like I don't really recommend you read it unless like you're into weird English fiction. Yeah, that's that one. Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, The Vanishing Stare by Maureen Johnson, and The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson. So these are the 3 books in the Truly Devious young adult mystery series that just wrapped up in January. Hopefully Angus is not too loud right now at my feet, but we'll see. So I finished all 3 of these. I did a quick like reread of the first book and then read the last 2. I really like this series. It is about an elite boarding school in Vermont, and you like have to send a letter and hope you get picked to go there. There's no tuition fees. There's no like, it's just like very reclusive weirdness. But if you get picked, you get to go there and you get to study like your special field, like somebody's a YouTuber, and there was a murder there in the 30s, which is part of the situation. So our main character, she gets picked to go and she wants to study the case of the murder. She ends up figuring out a lot of things. Some things happen in present day and then we get flashbacks to the past, which is really fun. I really loved the series. Overall, I gave it a 4-star rating. The middle book lags a little, like most middle books do, but I think if you are looking for a quick, fun YA mystery series to bust through, in audio especially, the Truly Devious series is here for you, and honestly, quite delightful. Next we have The Beast of Bestwick by Amelie Howard, which I gave a 3.5 out of 5 stars to. This book has literally like the list of my book nips in it, like Beauty and the Beast, historical, like a headstrong female, like it's got it all. Lady Astrid is attempting to help herself and her sister escape a shitty situation, to say the least, and Thane, the Duke next door, or the Lord, whatever he is, he is a wartime vet and he has like a huge gash, like his whole body's mangled from war and he just is in a lot of pain. This is definitely a slow burn, I would say. It is not, this is a little more of a crock pot, you know, this isn't like getting to it real quick. But it was like a well-paced slow burn, so I liked it. But the thing that like knocked it down for me is I felt like we spent a lot of time away from the characters, like the characters apart and not together. And in my romances, generally, I want the characters together a lot, like duking it out, especially in this situation. But overall, a great book, and I'm very curious to read her next book in this series. Next, we have A Serving of Forever by Jessica Kane. This is a Kindle Unlimited book that I gave 3 stars to, just like the rest of the books in this series. This is a instant love, very quick and dirty read. This has kind of an alpha-hole firefighter and Quinn, who is very meek and mild-mannered and doesn't like know how to be more aggressive or like assertive, and he ends up teaching her, and it's delightful. Very quick read. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well done. If you're wanting to try Jessica Kane, I do think this trio of books is your best bet. Next we have The Princess Trap by Talia Hibbert, which I listened to on Audible Escape. I gave this 3 stars. So Talia Hibbert is generally like a 4 or 5 star read for me. This book, and actually the other book in this series, were not my favorite. They are older though. so that could be it. Who knows? Ruben and Cherry just didn't click for me overall. The story is okay. They basically get caught together by a paparazzi and she finds out he's a prince, and then they have a fake relationship. Yeah, could have been worse, could have been better. It kind of almost was too quick, if that makes sense. And I'm happy to be done with this series, but I don't feel like I was missing out by not having read it yet. Next we have Open Book by Jessica Simpson. I just decided to get this at the library. I don't know why. I was kind of in a reading funk and I thought, well, let's do something totally different. I blew through it in a day, maybe less than a day. It was quick. I'm saying 5 stars. I feel weird rating people's memoirs. Is that just me? Maybe it's just me. But I think it's a 5-star one because she really dives into what happened to her and like the fat phobia in Hollywood and the music industry and the like body shaming and all that stuff, which is really interesting, and I really enjoyed it overall. And I just feel like she really kind of got like fucked over a lot by her family and people in her life overall, so that was sad. Next we have Stud in the Stacks by Pippa Grant. I've talked about this book before on the channel. I put it on TBRs and I just never got to it. I saw it was on Audible Escape. I said, let's do this. Let's just read the dang book. Knox, our hero, he reads and writes reviews about romance books and actually really loves romance. He's a librarian, and Parker wins him for a date for her high school reunion at an auction, at like a fundraiser auction. They kind of go from fake relationship to fake engagement to actually dating, of course. And this book, I wanted to love it. Like, it was pretty cute, but it just lacked something. I don't know what the something was, but it was really lacking for me. It's pretty dramatic, and I'm sorry if you are literally listening to Angus snore at my feet right now. Oh my gosh, hold on. Am I boring you that much? Are you that bored? Okay, so yeah, this book just for me was missing that little something. I didn't hate it, I didn't love it. Solid 3-star read, like it was good. I don't think you should like take it off your TBR. Next we have Desire and the Deep Blue Sea by Olivia Dade. I talked about this in the Comfort Reads video. I'll link it up here if you didn't watch it again. This book, wow, I loved this book so much. I am actually talking about it in my next Reading the Tropes video, and I can't say enough good things about this. I think this is a great book to pick up right now if you are stressed and you want something really like light and easy to read. We follow Callie, who won a free vacation to be on this show where you go to 3 different islands and then you spend the last like 3 days of the trip on the island of your choice. Callie and her boyfriend break up right beforehand, and she tells the producer that she has a new boyfriend. She enlists Thomas, her co-worker, who she's kind of had feelings for, and he's definitely got feelings for her, to go with her on this trip. They work through a lot of emotions, and he is just, Thomas is the biggest cinnamon roll ever. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Like, sweet, sweet, sweet boy. Cinnamon roll. Like, oh my gosh, he just melted my heart. My cold heart was just like melting. He took such good care of Callie and helped like her with her anxiety and not doing things she didn't want to do on the show. It was so good, and I just love them so much. And honestly, like, I gave this 4 stars. It's almost a 5-star read for me, and actually, honestly, I think I might bump it up to 5 stars. I just really loved this book, you guys. Like, really, really loved it. There's also like amazing fat rep in this book and anxiety rep. You really can't go wrong. Just cozy. Next I read Asking for Trouble by Tessa Bailey. This is book 4 in her line of duty, which I've not read any of the other books. I only read this one because it was on Fated Mates. This is on Audible Escape, and oh my gosh. Again, Tessa Bailey is like the queen of dirty talk, and either she works for you or she doesn't, and that's okay, but like, she speaks to my id 100%. love her stuff. I loved this book. This is an enemies to lovers, but it hits right for me because you dive in and like the eneminess is already established. They don't go into like why they're enemies, they just are. And it's them like banging it out real quick in the beginning, kind of. And then they, next thing you know, they are like kind of hooking up and kind of like avoiding each other and just abusing each other of these ideas. So Brent is like an explosions expert and Hayden is this wealthy woman who runs charity work all the time, and he just thinks she is stuck up and all the things. But he soon finds out that like that's not who she is as a person, and it's a lot of getting over these preconceptions they have about each other. This book feels so modern and contemporary. Like it feels like it was written in the last year, and it was written in like 2013. Also blows my mind. I just loved it. It also like really focuses on family and found family and supporting each other. Oh, I love this book, and I actually want to go back and reread the rest of the series now. Next we have Of Curses and Kisses by Sandhya Menon. This was a 4-star read as well. I picked this up from the library. My hold finally came in on the audiobook, and I was so excited to dive in. Again, we know this. One of my weaknesses is the Beauty and the Beast retelling, okay? Like, I will read them all. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's cool. I have a problem. We know this. Jaya has to has this necklace that's a rose pendant. The rubies start falling out, and there's a feud between Jaya and Gray's family. She comes there because she's trying to enact revenge on Gray for something that he actually didn't do. And the rubies start falling out as his 18th birthday approaches. She befriends him. It's like, I hate you, but I'm falling in love with you. But he doesn't really hate her. He's just indifferent. Gray is a delightful YA beastie character. It is one of my favorite archetypes. It's just, when it's done well, it's done so well, and I love it. And obviously when it's done bad, it's awful. But this was just such a great take on it for a YA. Such a good twist with the boarding school. I also love a boarding school. And I am super excited for the next book in this series, which I think is going to be The Princess and the Frog. I just can't wait. All right, and last but not least is My Fake Rake by Eva Lee. I've been reading this book forever. I made the switch from reading it to audio, and that helped immensely. I have really been struggling lately with physically reading with my eyes. It's getting a little better, but we'll see where we're at in a week. My Fake Rake, though, was two nerds falling in love, and it's everything I needed. Sebastian is a sweet, sweet cinnamon roll hero again, who is learning to be a rake so he can help Grace get this guy to notice her. So he pretends to be a rake to then go to a party and like dance with her, and then everyone will think like, oh my, look at her, we didn't notice her because nobody paid attention to her before. Grace is really into amphibians, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, they're two huge nerds that fall in love. It's like mutual pining, and they don't know they're both pining for each other during this process, and then at the end, like, obviously they figure it out and get together, and we have our HEA. So good. So good. Such a solid 4-star read. I cannot recommend this one enough if you're at all interested in it. It was so fun, and I love two nerds falling in love, y'all. Like, I don't know, probably because I'm a nerd, but it's fine. Like, I don't know, there's something great about nerds falling in love, right? Yeah, so those are my last 10 reads. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment with your last read that you really enjoyed, or if you've read any of these. Be sure to subscribe so you see when my next video comes out, and I will see you soon. Bye!